Thank you very much to all of you. All the time, it is an honor and it is a pleasure to come back to the Congress. I like to have the Congress every year because it is, for me, it is an update of the original project when I've been elected. I wanted to increase the activity of the federation, and unfortunately, this 2020 arrives, and it is, I can say, a stop. But in this year of stop, we have to be prepared to the next part of our future. So next year we have to be back, and we strongly have to wish that this pandemic will be over. What happened today? I report mainly what happened in 2019. We had the successful championship, European Club Crew Championship in the wonderful Seville. We start with the first Euro Cup, first edition of the Euro Cup. And we start to enlarge our program, not only one event a year, not only a championship, a continental championship for clubs and continental championship for nations, but a championship championship and other events. These are the other events. The first edition of the Euro Cup, the Forum, Gala Dinner and our ceremony that last year was held in Milan after the first edition that was held in Seville in 2018. What we do into the international world together as the president of the EDBF, I always sit into the world of sport together with a part of the delegation with Mike Aslan, with Mike Thomas and Alan. And then the visit to EDBF members, because we have not been just happy to be always the same 7, 8, 12 nations to the championship. We already have more than 20 members and we wish to become more. There are a lot of nations interested in dragon boating, but they are not still members. They are organizers and we have to help them to develop and to begin members. And there are members that are not well prepared, that are not well, they don't know exactly how should be run a federation. For this reason, we have the forum, we have an education plan. And at the end, I had the pleasure to be in Paris together with Mike, Alan, and Claude Dorlac at the beginning of the discussions, speaking with the French Canoe Federation, trying to avoid difficulties to the World Championship in Aix-les-Bains that should have been held at the end of August. Unfortunately, it was not possible, as we said, for the pandemic, but everything was ready, and this is thanks to the great job of the IDBF officials, Mike Thomas and Alan as a treasurer of the IDBF, but we gave our support as Europeans, because a World Championship in Europe is always something that involves also the Continental Federation. What is, just as a reminder, what we want to do? As I said, we have, I have always in mind these 5 points. I spoke about these 5 points also at the also at the Congress or at the forum in when we were in Milano last year. Education. We have to make education. Even myself, Mike Thomas, Alan, Mike, and sometimes with us was also Bridget. We go in Lausanne to the IF Forum, the International Federation Forum. We sit there with the leaders of all the sports, and we sit them and there, and the Olympic Committee, the Sport Accord, the Global Association of International Sport Federation, they have sessions to shape us as officers. We need to be prepared to do our job, even if we are volunteers. We are volunteers because we love our sports. Who is the officials of other sports, of rowing, of beach volley, they love their sport. We love our sport, and for this we do, as Antonio always say, we do as volunteers what we wouldn't do for work. And this is an important mindset. But this doesn't mean that we have to work without a good preparation. For this, we want to work always on more interesting forum with interesting items, and we want to help the EDBF in raising officials, race officials update and meetings. And we have also a commission appointed by the EDBF, and we really recommend to all our members to encourage others and peoples to join race official coaching course. We have also a coaching scheme for trainers, and this is something that we have to develop. Another important thing is site inspection. When we have a championship, we did many site inspections, because we have to prepare organizers to be ready for to organize a Euro Cup or a European Championship. It is important because nobody knows what it means to organize a continental championship. It is real great effort. It is a great responsibility. We have to work in advance and give to the organizers the knowledge of what is expected for them to do. Because people say, when we go in Sevilla, we see everything runs smooth. If we go to Kiev, everybody runs smooth. If we go to Ravenna, but behind that few days of work, there is a great efforts and preparation. So this is education. And Eurocup is also a way to prepare our organizers to be organizer of Continental Championship. So we go to the second part, and is, as always, we had the European National Championship and European Club Crew Championship. Now we introduce the Eurocup. So some of the festivals have been updated to the Eurocup status. Last year it was an experimental project, but in a small way it works. Now it is the time for 2021 to imagine that to be back in the program, and to have some festivals that wants to make to grow and say, we are not just a festival, but we accept the rules, we accept top level crews, we want to increase the level of our event. And that doesn't mean to cancel the festival. The festival can be at the side of the Eurocup event. Last year was very positive, both in every place. It was positive in Barcelona, it was positive in Serbia, and it was positive in Italy. So not interference, not undermine the local event, but make it more. We introduce the idea, and this will be something that we have to decide together if we have to follow up with this program for 2020, because we introduced the idea to have in the winter the indoor championship with the ergometers. It is something good to keep our dragon boat community involved. So for this reason, the indoor championship put together with the at the time of the forum is a good opportunity to have something competitive in winter, and don't leave paddlers without any official competition from the summer to the other summer for 10 months. This is not good in any sport. Finally, we have the gala dinner, forum, and our ceremony. The forum is important for the education, as we said before. The gala dinner is important because, as I always say to one of my close friends that I don't want to repeat him again, but he's here, he's the president of the Italian Federation. He's also president of a club, and his club is very strong and wins the Italian Cup. And I said that the secret of your coaching is that you prepare your team at dinner, because they have a lot of social activities. He's a psychologist and he knows that, and Antonio knows that, and this is important. We have to put together our team, our European team, and I encourage all our members to join the forum, because when we have that gala dinner is the time where we can shake hands, smile, not discussing about single items, become friends. Because if we are friends, if we know each other better personally, that is good for our team. And the gala dinner is important, and this is the right moment to call the excellences of our sport in the hour ceremony. We had important guests, and this is also good, and introduce the 5 stream marketing. Don't do things if you are not able to show them this outside. We have to do our project. We have to be prepared. We must have the education. We have to be prepared for our events, and then we have to marketing our event. One of the most important points that I underlined at the forum last year, and that one of the greatest opportunity for our sport is the touristic area. Okay, now we can say that the world has changed. Now the tourism is stopped, but they are hungry. We should be prepared. We should be there. And at the moment that we will reopen, I hope soon, and it will be soon, because if it is 1 month, it's 1 month. If it will be 1 year, it's 1 year. If it's 2 years, it's 2 years. But 1 year in our history is a short time. We have time to be prepared, but tourism and touristic agency and touristic operator are one of our main targets, because we move thousands of people, both at international level and at the national level. When we organize a festival, when we organize a national competition, an international competition, a continental competition, we always move people for a few days. So if we have 2,000 people for 7 days, that means 14,000 nights. And this is a value. It's a value for the city, it's a value for the authorities, it's a value for the hosting nation, and is a value for the organizer and for the touristic professional agents. This value, we have to make this value come true. This will attract also sponsors and technical sponsors, because of course we are there are important sponsors, and they can be attracted by our visibility, our idea to be together, our colors, our competition, because when we have a final with 9 crews in a boat, we have 198 paddlers. When in the standard boat, 9 crews going for the final at international level or 6 at European level, we have 100 paddlers together, and there are no other sport having so many people involved in a single race. Think what is our championship. And this is something that together with the Marketing and Media Commission, we are working, trying to give a value to this potential of our sport. Technical sponsor, of course, the people that entrepreneurs that work in our sport, if they produce boats, if they produce paddles, if they produce any other things that can be used by our paddlers, they should become, if they produce a starting system, they are all our potential technical sponsors. Today we have Peicheng, we have Hornet, we have TG Sport, and we always look and we are open to involve other technical sponsors, because this is a great opportunity for us. Then we have heritage point, because we don't have to forget our history. So we come from China, and our sport comes from China. We have to maintain our culture. And in these times, maybe we can be a bridge between all the conflicts that in the world are now so much exasperated. In Italy, I have very good friends from China in the Chinese community. I am the consultant for the young Chinese in Italy. But when I was in Lithuania, I met the ambassador of China in Lithuania, and I understand how important is the Chinese authorities for the development of Dragon Boat sport in Lithuania. So this is important. Look at the Chinese community in your nations, because in nations like Canada, like Australia, like United States, where the Chinese community is very much involved, the Dragon Boat sport is at very high levels. Of course, we have to look also at schools, universities, and companies. These are 3 areas where we can, in school and universities, we can find new paddlers, we can develop the sport, the new generation of the sports, and all the members have to work in these areas. And for this reason, I believe very much in the Youth Commission, and today also the International Federation with Matt Smith as a vice president, with an endorsement of Mike. They are trying to give strong, they're trying to give more power, more space to the Youth Commission. And then companies. We look for sponsors, but companies are our sponsor, because when can be our sponsor, can be a way to fund our sport, because we can help them in their education with our team buildings, and team buildings have a great revenue generation. It's a great opportunity of revenue generation for our federations. Again, from marketing, culture, and then communication. We have to work more on social media, press, and if possible, to have place on the Olympic channel. Because especially the social media, this is only what you want. Because if you want to help, and if you send us your pictures, your experience, your story, We can go out on Instagram, on Facebook. We need your information because you are 20 members. Okay, send us your information and we will give voice to your federation. We will be more than happy to do that. So this is important because this strategy leads everything we try to do as EDBF management. And let's go into the details very brief because you know what happened. We had around 2,000 participants in Seville, 18 nations. The organization was excellent and the racing course was superb and made the bid for the World Championship 2023 very strong and successful. Paddlers were happy and races were fair and top level. That's thanks. I want to please say thank you to all the race officials that are key players in all this. I'm lucky because I have very good race officials and they know in Europe, and we had great chief official, and we did well. Thank you to all of them, because without them it would be impossible. Without their experience and their commitments to be hours and hours on racing course, it would be impossible to have such a successful championship with such large numbers. Then the Eurocup events. The Eurocup events we started in Barcelona. Barcelona, as you know, next year should have hosted the European Club Crew Championship, but now everything has been changed. We will see later at this point. And then in Belgrade, I'm happy that after that I've been in Belgrade, I spoke with also Serbian authorities, and I'm happy to say that we receive a bid for Serbia for 2024. Belgrade is a very famous racing course. Fair is a beautiful city, and I'm sure we can have a good championship in Belgrade. Then Rome. Rome was in the lake of Eur, where we had the European Championship 2016. It was in winter. Only one international cruise joined us, but I'm sure that in the future we can increase the offer of championship, and the cruise will be ready in 2021 to join these Eurocup events. I don't see any conflict. I want to be clear with all of you again, and I take this opportunity to clarify. I think that in our nations, we don't have only one queue. We have many queues in our national championship, in our national competition, and so we should see the Eurocup event as a step by step. Maybe some crews are not qualified to go to the European Championship, and maybe the European Championship is a target, they are not still prepared. So we can offer them the opportunity to join the Eurocup events. Eurocup events, that means that maybe a club from the south goes to the first, a club from the center goes to the second, and the club of the north goes to the third event. At the end, these three events bring points to the nations. Maybe none of them will go to the continental championship, because we have another national team, or we have other clubs interested in national championship. That will give, with enlarge the landscape of our federations, and more people will be ready to go and be interested also in international race. So Eurocup events are not have nothing to do with the continental championship. The idea of the Eurocup event is to make a step forward for some festival organizer. Not only a festival organizer where Dragon Boat is just fun and where the people think that Dragon Boat is just a way to go, just jump on the boat and go. No, we can have this, that is important to fund the sport, but during the sport we can have also good competition. Like we have national competition that are good, we can have international competition. This is normal in all the sport, and it is good for us to start to open our mind. Then, as I said before, Forum Gala Dinner and Over Ceremony, this is important, and I want to take the opportunity to thank again who, with their effort, all the council members and the commissions, with their effort, produced interesting presentation. And we have to say thank you also to the sponsor financing the intense social activity around the European Federation. Please note that 2019, after Maura will tell you, shows a profit for our federation, an important profit of more than 20,000 euro. And the forum, this forum in Milano was not a cost, but for the towns, for the first time was a revenue for our federation. Unfortunately, last year the sport accord was very far, was in Australia, so I didn't join this sport accord, but I joined in the past. I joined the international forum, the International Federation Forum, very interesting, and it is important because we met, we always meet and have good relation with a lot of people. So we work with the EDBF in the long journey for the IOC recognition of our sport. This, I want to underline this. When we speak about Sport Accord, when we had the honor to have the president of the Sport Accord and the president of the GASF join us into the celebration online for the 30th anniversary of our federation, that was very important. And his words were very important. As it was important when Stephen Fox, president of the AIMS, the association where the International Dragon Boat Federation sits within the council, when he came into the Congress in Thailand and gave a great endorsement to the EDBF policy and to the EDBF rights to become a member of the IOC, recognized by the IOC. This is the next step. We are in, since 2007, in the family of the sport. We are member of the GASF, and we sit together with the Canoe Federation, with every federation. We sit and we sit there and with the same rights of all the other federation, like rowing, like track and field, like football, like how do you say, like the driving, like Formula One, the FIA, the Federation of Automobilism. So we are member of the federation, and we are happy to, we are member of the Olympic family, and we wait to be part of the, finally to be part of the IOC as member of the International Olympic Committee. What I did last year was to visit Spain, to visit Serbia, to visit Georgia, and to visit Ukraine. This year I like to add also Lithuania. I was in Lithuania just few days before the lockdown. I was in Lithuania. I come back from Lithuania the 6th March, and on the 9th, everything was locked down. I included Lithuania in this visit to nations. Last year, I did this. I was in this place in Lithuania. I was with Valeri Morgun, vice president of the federation. In Spain, I was with Mike Aslam, and in Ukraine, of course, before I was there with Valeri, and after the president of the technical commission, together with the vice president, Peter Yaroshi, went to Ukraine to inspect the racing course, and they did a good report. So this is, and Georgia was very interesting because I assisted a great championship in a lake with many nations, many crews coming from the UAE, and thanks to Sayad Garibi that come from Iran, and he takes the lead of Dragon Boat in Georgia, and it was a good experience. I think they will grow. They have strong paddlers. And as last but not least, my visit to Paris in the perspective of Aix-les-Bains, together with Mike and Alan and Claude Dorlac. Unfortunately, you know that the championship has been cancelled. Yes, it's been cancelled for the COVID-19 outbreak that stopped our program, but not our spirit and our passion. We are here ready to start again as soon as the pandemic will be over. The most important thing for us is to protect the health of our paddlers and the entire Dragon Boat community of Europe. We wait and hold, ready to start again with our racing program in 2021. We are ready to fulfill the EDBF full program with the Continental Championship, with the Euro Cup, the European Indoor Championship, and the Forum Gala Dinner and our ceremony. Join us and support the EDBF project. I want to close with this phrase from Walt Disney: the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So I invite all of you to help us in doing things within your nation, within the executive committee, within the council, for the benefit of our partners. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good. Please, if anyone wants to add something, the floor is yours, of course. Julie?
Okay, so we move on to item 7, which is the reports from the EDBF Commission shareholders, starting with the Competition and Special Events Commission, Saeed Abdallah.
May I only say that if you have anything that you want, when you go back home and you want to write to me, you're welcome. I would be happy. Or if you want to talk with me, or you have a suggestion to make this better for the future, please do not hesitate to write, and I will be happy to have your point of view in writing. Thank you very much. Saeed.